want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Welcome to another week of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube. I'm hearing a feedback. I think something is definitely wrong technically. We should try to rectify that, and we will be back. You are listening to Power 97.9 FM.
For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of NewsSpin right here on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as on YouTube. Early on, we were experiencing some technical problems. We hope they have been rectified so that the show can go on until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Of course, as usual, we will be taking your calls at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And Kimani is there. She'll be going through some of your comments as we program on yet another occasion. There's more of the same, and that is on the weekend, Saturday to be exact. And there is this shooting incident which left one elderly male injured, 73-year-old male. And this incident occurred someone Chaussee Road, I think close to the Bocage Kako bus stand, and people had to scurry seeking shelter as if there was a deluge, There were showers, not blessings, but just showers, and people had to seek cover or seek shelter. Again, we continue to experience those incidents, the gun crimes that are occurring on the island ever so often, and those have become a way of life and almost acceptable by everyone, including the citizenry, including those who are supposed to be in authority. I'm saying acceptable because you do not get a sense that there is this hue and cry. You don't get a sense that people are speaking out in unison. And if you say anything that is not to the liking or satisfaction of certain sections of the society, you'll be accused of politicizing crime, when that clearly is not the motive of law-abiding citizens and right-thinking individuals. You do not want things to be so out of hand, where people's lives are being disrupted ever so often, where their lives are at stake. Their very survival is in jeopardy. And as if we don't have a way out of this particular predicament, and the message we are sending out there to those troublemakers is that you can do as you please. You're not accountable to anyone. The environment is such that things of that nature will happen without you being subjected to any kind of repercussion. So, chaos has definitely set in. And so, a lot of people were impacted on Saturday afternoon. I think Kimani had a clip of the president of that minibus association in her newscast this afternoon. And again, the cry would be for increased presence of our police. And we've always been told that the police cannot be everywhere. But if there is a semblance of order, if there is any kind of indication that we are serious about fighting crime wherever it occurs, if, for example, we're giving the impression that things of that nature will not be tolerated. After all, this ought not to be the Wild West, where people are just armed with illegal firearm and ammunition, and they're going after each other, and then innocent bystanders, senior citizens included, they are getting caught in the crossfire. This, no doubt, is unacceptable, and we cannot continue to tolerate it, because to do so clearly will send the wrong signal to other individuals who want to engage in a life of crime, and also be sending the wrong message as well to those people who are outside of St. Lucia, who want to visit the island as visitors, as people who want to have a vacation here, or in other instances, people who want to set up shop, want to do business in our country. It is high time for immediate action to be taken. And things that are workable, things that are practical. Just appointing a minister there for minister with responsibility for crime prevention, and then having a national security minister on the other hand, and then having a home affairs minister, and having the security apparatus in place, and yet still there isn't any kind of noticeable improvement. Clearly, we have to go back to the joint board to see how best we can address that serious crime problem that is plaguing us almost on a daily basis. What we'll do right now is to open the lines immediately to take your calls at 452-2979. That's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. And we apologize to you once again for the late commencement of our broadcast today because of the technical issues that we were experiencing. I get the impression that somehow we have managed to rectify those, and going forward, at least for the duration of our program this afternoon, it will not be inhibited by any technical issues. Israel cancels White House visit after the U.S. does not block UN ceasefire vote. The United States abstained in that vote, clearly sending a signal to the Israelis that the administration of Biden, very frustrated, patience is running thin as far as warning a ceasefire, so that the peace aid and negotiations can definitely take place, so that this war between Israel and Hamas, and where the people are caught in the middle as a result of that fierce battle between Israel and Hamas, which has gone on over several years now. So we're on the line to take your calls at 452-2979. Once again, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. Any comments to go through, Kimani?
Someone says, half hour more by law, Tim. Another comment, in other words, Tim, the sky is falling. Someone else says, have they taken PJP in for questioning so he can tell the police officers who are the ones instigating crime? So those who are responsible can be arrested. Families are mourning. Pip, you said it, you know. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me see if I have any of your messages to go through right now. Okay, I don't think I have any new messages. Somebody's asking if we are on the air. As far as I'm aware, yes, we are very much on 97.9 FM, as well as on YouTube and the NewsSpin Facebook page. So we take your calls on the various issues in the news and matters of concern to you at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. But the crime problem is very, very serious in our country. And we must not give the impression that we are helpless. We must not give the impression, as we are doing right now, that we are bereft of answers as far as this particular issue is concerned, because we need to get to the bottom of that problem. We need to do it. We have people who are in certain key positions, and the titles that they have would indicate that it is their responsibility to maintain law and order in our country. Right now, it is basically social disorder. It is basically chaos. That is the order of the day in St. Lucia right now. And it's no exaggeration. When you say those things, people get very defensive. That will include the Prime Minister of St. Lucia and supporters of the government, as if we should not be speaking our mind, as if, it's not the reality on the ground, what we are going through at this particular juncture. People are afraid to go to certain parts of St. Lucia. It is no longer a case where certain communities and certain areas are seen as no-go zones, but it is a case where this seems to be something that is widespread. And you need not be a soothsayer to predict that there will be some violent incident that will be occurring in any part of the island at any given time. And so, if you care about your reputation, you're holding key positions in our society, if you really want to demonstrate to the people of this country that you're worth the title and the position that you have, then you absolutely must do something that would clearly indicate that the people are getting value for money. As it stands right now, we are absolutely at the mercy of criminal elements in our society, and people clearly we have laws that should be adhered to. We have a call on line. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Landline at 452-2979. Good afternoon. Okay, we lost that call, but continue to call us once again at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there, good day, Tim. No businessman in their right mind wants to do business in St. Lucia right now. Sad. That's right. For another call, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I'm okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. It's been a while. Tim, on the side of the criminal elements and what's going on, I still believe that it has been a start. That it is something I've spoken about within certain circles concerning activities put on by the police in that of the roadblocks. Now, a lot of times, or you could call it traffic checks, a lot of times people say, oh, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. But if you look at the stats will show the amount of, yes, ammunition, weapons, and the list goes on that has been confiscated. Yeah, persons getting arrested for illegal firearms on our roads. People have always combated that old style, I want to call it, of policing to the new age being, well, there's WhatsApp, there's this. But if you're not in a certain group of a certain set of people who are monitoring these things for whatever reasons they have to do so, you know, you will not find a message. And even if the message comes to you, unless your phone is open, you'll not see it. So the business of not having that, if we can take a moment and look at the facts show that it works. And the police, not just in Castries Basin, in all around the island in the districts, they all have to come together under their operational banner and do just that. Because there's no way somebody, or at least I don't know of that, person leaves, not pointing out any community, but I'll use it as an example. If you fought to come and commit a crime in Choiseul and they ain't go via the road, you know, if they're going via the sea, then it's something we need to look into. But I can tell you, majority of the time is by the road, by means of the highways and byways. So if you're going to intercept, this is where you're going to intercept, and the stats show. So I want to commend the police from the hierarchy down to doing what they're doing in that regard, and we need more of it. The citizenry need to understand this is the job of the police, and we need to be safer in our country. And therefore, if it means we do more of this, then so be it. Continue to do it. So I want to give the kudos there. Thank you, Tim.
Okay, sir.
Have a blessed one.
You too. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979. Along with your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. You cannot have a situation where, for example, criminal elements are having their way and people are getting shot and injured in the process, as if you're lucky. In a lot of cases, people have been killed. I mean, we're talking about 22 homicides so far for this year. And on top of that, you have the challenge of providing quality health care to the people of this country. So people who are injured, people who get shot while the criminal elements are going after each other, they must be subjected to shoddy services being provided by the health sector, not because of the personnel who are poorly trained and so on, but in most instances, you're talking about not having the correct equipment, the infrastructure, no medication. So definitely it's a double-edged sword. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim. How are you doing?
I am okay, caller. Good afternoon to you.
Oh, Tim, I always used to hear you say you are the most monitored talk show host in St. Lucia.
No.
But I never
program
used to believe you.
The program is the most monitored, not me.
The program.
The program is the most monitored, yes.
No, I think it's you, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's you.
Why?
Tim, I heard last week I heard you made a comment about gangs in Haiti. And Tim, I could believe I heard every everybody, all ministers, everybody had an opinion about the comment you made. But Tim, that's a comment I hear every time. That's a comment I hear every time. Watching vlogs, watching YouTube, watching programs, listening to journalists. Most people make that statement you made. Gang violent people destroy violent people as themselves. So you see the hypocrisy in St. Lucia. I don't understand it. You understand? I really don't understand the hypocrisy with St. Lucia. If you support in one color, you understand? You get one type of treatment. And if you are perceived to be supporting the other side, you are crucified. Tim, you better stay strong and have a blessed day, okay?
Thank you, sir. You as well. Have a great day. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. Somebody says there, the fact that those who have access to the impacts report and have the power to do something about it, to me, is enough to show that they do not care or are too lazy to do anything about it. They are not affected by crime, so why would it bother them? And we have a tendency to talk a lot about accountability, and we talk a lot about productivity in the workplace. We need to explore this in just a moment, and that is from a particular perspective, because we cannot be calling on the so-called ordinary, down-to-earth solution to be productive, and there are others who have absolutely nothing to show for the thousands of dollars that they are being paid on a monthly basis. Any comments in the chat room, Kimani?
In the chat room, someone says, the purpose of traffic checks is not primarily for weapons. It is to collect revenue for the government. A few criminals with weapons will be found once in a while. We need to employ a more targeted approach to getting weapons, as traffic checks tend to get ordinary citizens more frustrated. Someone says, it is impossible to remove the criminal elements from any society when governments and the churches are run by bandits masking as leaders. Caller, the canine dogs are needed badly. Someone says, Tim, I think education should be free in St. Lucia, hence the reason for the low numbers of children being born. Schools are empty, and also some migrate to other countries. If not what he thinks matters too. We all know the realities of shooting, so painting his words for political mileage is just not making any positive step to the reduction of crime. The real meaning of his words is being compromised. Another comment, Tim, here is one for you. A bank is in the business of making money, and most of their money comes from giving loans. Now, $80 million is a fairly substantial loan, and if I have shares in a bank, it is not rocket science that if I needed an $80 million loan, I would take it out with a bank in which I am a shareholder instead of with a bank where I am not a shareholder. With this in mind, why didn't the government take out the $80 million loan from BOSL? That's it.
Thank you so much. Still to come, productivity in the workplace. This time looking at a category of individuals other than just the so-called ordinary St. Lucians who are being called upon every day to be productive and to give evidence that they are worth the salaries, in most cases, meager salaries that they are being paid. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM, as well as the NewsSpin Facebook page and the NewsSpin YouTube channel.
I'm in the lingo. Yes. More pan more, see how the thing go. It's more wet flow now, you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Salu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Shift into your savings gear this March at Automotive Art as we launch our March Madness sale. Pull up at any of our branches this March and save 20% off on all car accessories. Roll out with fantastic deals on tires of up to 30% off. And if you're missing some key tools for your toolkit, no problem. We're offering 15% off on all tools store-wide. But that's not all. Shop now and enjoy exclusive in-store specials on car care, lubricants, and more. Don't miss out on the action. The March Madness sale is happening right now at Automotive Art. Automotive Art, your car, our passion. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
Transforming St. Lucia through football innovation and excellence. The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League provides a pathway for the professional and personal development of young footballers, leading to community enhancement across Ireland.
Great opportunity.
In 2024, 10 district leagues will compete for the Premier Cup and 9 district leagues will face off for the Super Cup. 81 games in 4 venues. Come support your community as you witness the first ever St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League Championships. Competitive football, passionate players, and striking goals.
And it's in.
In collaboration with the government of St. Lucia and the St. Lucia Football Association, the Semi-Pro Football League is leveraging football to transform lives.
And so the referee brings the 90 minutes to an end.
Cause when we roll, we don't roll alone. Soufred Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufred Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring Taunton legend, Future Lights, Rob Zai and Finesse, TYP, Ricky T, Tedison John, Headliners, Nyla Blackman. Skinny Fabulous, Taurus Riley.
She's royal, yeah, so royal.
Presented by the Soufra Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Soufra Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission, $130 EC. VIP, $400 EC. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Soufra Jazz. The ultimate experience.
452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. We have a call. Hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. T. More people, what is the latest on Haiti? I want to know. You tell me.
Bukola, you don't have a television set? You don't listen to the news? You don't watch the BBC? Hello? Okay, we lost the caller. See, he wants me to tell him about the latest with regard to Haiti. Caller, do your homework. You have access to the technology. Go and read. Go to the BBC. Go to the various news sites, and you'll be getting up-to-date information on Haiti. I've had my say on Haiti. If there is anything new for me to say on Haiti, you'll not hear me speaking about Haiti anytime soon. So I'll only give you information that is pertinent and relevant. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. So it appears I'm the go-to person when it comes to Haiti. So productivity in the workplace. How often have you heard, whether it is at a seminar, whether it's at some public forum, some public discussion taking place, and we talk about productivity from the perspective of your ordinary workers, workers who are not deemed to be prominent individuals, and in particular, line staff in the private sector as well as the public sector. But what about those people who are in the seat of power, leadership positions? We cannot have a situation where you have the occurrence of criminal acts almost on a daily basis, and not ordinary crimes, but you have major crimes occurring now more than ever. And this is reflected in the statistics. So you have your national security minister, and now you have some minister given additional task, and that is that of crime prevention minister. I think maybe it's the first in the Caribbean, maybe in the world, that we're hearing of a minister with responsibility for crime prevention. You have a national security minister, and yet still the crime problem is out of control in this country. Shouldn't we be asking questions of those people in terms of the remuneration that they're getting, one, and secondly, the level of productivity that they are, the level of productivity that they would be recording, and whether they are giving the people of this country value for money. Because when you have a situation where ordinary folks, every now and then questions are being asked of them with regard to their performance. In the education sector, if children are underperforming, questions are normally asked of teachers. Take, for example, students who are in grade 6. You question the level of training that's being provided to those teachers in certain disciplines, in certain areas. And the same would be asked of nurses and doctors, etc. What about, in this case, your police commissioner? What about your national security minister and the hierarchy of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force amidst this crime wave that we continue to experience? Let's take your calls at 452-2979. Once again, your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, and that is 716-2026. Kimani, any comments in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone asked, Tim is now leading the delegation to Haiti. I wasn't aware, Tim, but if you are, I'll be...
You'd want to be part of that delegation?
Oh, no, I'll stay here.
Okay, you don't want to
I'll
travel...
captain the ship.
You don't want to travel to Haiti. You want to hold the fort.
I'll leave that for you, Tim.
I really don't blame you, because from what I'm reading, the situation there in Haiti is dire, and it's worsening to the extent that Jamaica has taken in some 59 disabled children, orphans, and they are currently housed in a special particular center over in Jamaica, along with other people who are taking care of those orphans.
More comments in the chat. Someone says, crime affects everyone, but the question is, what are we doing about it? Someone else says, Tim, your voice is doing a great job for St. Lucia. That's it, Tim.
Thanks so much. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Tim.
Good afternoon to you, Rick.
We're always citing authors from other places, people we know nothing about, etc., etc. When we have one of the giants of the literary world associated with St. Lucia, Derek Walcott, right?
But for years you have been making reference to Derek Walcott.
I beg your pardon?
For years now you've been making reference to Derek Walcott.
I'm making up for him?
I said for several years now, you've been making reference to Derek Walcott
Oh,
and
yes,
his work.
I have.
And his work, yeah.
I have, and I wish more did. But every now and again, I come across something that really grabs me, and it's in tune with what you were saying. But before I get to what you were saying, let me just read what Derek Walcott says about progress. Progress is something to ask Caribs about. They kill them by the millions, some in war, some by forced labor, dying in the mines looking for silver. After that, niggers. More progress. Until I see signs that mankind changed, Vince, I don't want to hear. Progress is history's dirty joke. Now that is Derek Walker talking in the vernacular, eh?
Yeah.
Also all the until I see signs of mankind change. I read that again, just 3 lines. Progress is something to ask Caribs about. They kill them by the millions. Some in war, some by forced labor, dying in the mines looking for silver. After that, niggers. More progress. Until I see signs that mankind change, Vince, I don't want to hear. Progress is history's dirty joke. Now, progress, Tim, progress. History's dirty joke. You just said a while ago, talking about crime, that the crime are more egregious than ever, more commonplace than ever. Progress?
No. And it seemed to be acceptable.
Well, that's progress, boy. That is what Derek was referring to, progress. Now,
we are regressing.
He also talks about indifference. People, they get used to things, or they get so frustrated they don't even hear what you're talking about, even when you're shouting. They don't even hear anymore because they get so used to it. And in St. Lucia, we are particularly good at adapting to the worst things in our country. Get used to it.
Yeah.
For how many years have you been hearing about Wasco? The problems of Wasco.
Forever now. Before, imagine before it was Wasco, it was Wasa. So imagine from that period.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, considering the times and considering the technology and considering the training and the money or whatever, most people will tell you, especially those who continue not to have water for years, that things are worse than ever, right?
Yeah.
Progress. Okay? That's the kind of progress Derek is talking about. Now, the indifference. There you are talking this morning about increase in horrible crime, in the apparent effectiveness of the police, that the police are still expecting to stop gun violence by stopping cars on the road, which itself has its own legal problems. It doesn't take into account that the guys are just as smart, perhaps even smarter than the cops. And we are also complaining that the cops are in collusion with the crooks, right?
Yeah.
That is a commonplace statement. Am I right?
You're correct, Rick.
And we have heard that from the highest places as well. We heard it from Dr. Kenny Anthony.
And even to the extent you do not get this kind of pushback from the police themselves, the hierarchy of the force would not be coming forward to defend the police and the reputation when those claims are made.
Progress, Tim. Progress. That's progress, you see. Now, all those things we're talking about now, if you look at your chat room, my wonderful friends and frenemies on the chat room, you know what a number of them are concerned with? You know what they're concerned with, Tim? You ever heard of a woman called Diana Charles?
Yes. Reference was made to sugar cakes. And sugar cakes.
Don't spoil my stuff when I ask you a question, young man, please. Don't spoil my stuff, especially when you're ignoring it yourself. Okay.
Because I'm not the chat room reporter.
Well, that's Paul's your or what? No mess around, Kimani, okay? Kimani read some things last week there with grace, because I'm not complaining. Diana Charles has for some time been my personal favorite St. Lucian comedian. For a lot of reasons, a lot of them contrary to the establishment. But I love Diana Charles. and that will tell you some of the.
Yeah, but Rick, if you're talking about progress, this time we're not being sarcastic, and this comments and that exchange is taking place in the chat room. I think the chat room reporter decided, for obvious reasons, not to make reference to the discussion that was taking place
I'm not
involving
talking
that
about that,
particular
but wait for
personality.
me. Wait for me. I am about to prove to you what Derek is talking about. You know, in the schooner's flight, he talks about that, the indifference that comes after a while. You know, when the progress is not really progress at all, but it is seen as progress. Like when we are ordering most of our food from supermarkets, and we have no consideration that those foods are carcinogens, that those foods are not even real meat, and so on. But that's where we buy our stuff, from the supermarkets, and we don't grow. And if we grow, then it's beyond the purse of most people. Progress, Tim. Progress. We're moving on, getting on into the big world. We're operating things in the big world. We have internet. We can cuss everybody out. That's progress, boy. At that time, we didn't have all those things. So the indifference is when people have been hit so many times with the same crap for years and years and years. The police force is worse than ever. The crime detection rate worse than ever. Our politicians are ostensibly more corrupt than ever. The courts don't function. They're worse than ever. The justice system is worse than ever. We're more interested in a court that few of us will ever have to use. 17 cases in 17 years. We're more interested in spending money on getting that going rather than spending the increasing amount, because every day we ignore the police force and every day we ignore the justice system. It gets worse and worse and worse, and the possibility of healing becomes more and more expensive. There was a time we used to talk about St. Jude and individuals or whatever. Now we know some $400 million invested. We're still talking about Chasney. Talking about Chasney and the hospital is more important than accounting for who spent those millions of dollars, who is going to account, when, how, and where. That's what we do. We get all kinds of what George Odom refers to in his final Hansard address, his final Parliament address. You know, that things are just going worse and worse, and all we do is PR them. 100 press releases a day is supposed to take care of the worst things going on in the country. Or if the police don't speak of the crimes and don't issue press releases, then the people are not going to worry about press releases. They become indifferent. And that is what I'm coming to now. And that's what Walcott referred to. A giant, that guy, we should be talking Derek Walcott every goddamn day. Every day. It's a sin crying out that we don't talk about Derek Walcott and the wisdom in his writing. So on your chat room, Diana George is reigning. Okay? And Super Cakes. And let's talk about who Super Cakes is. And by the way, you will realize
Sugar Cake.
You will realize that I read, watch everything. I try to stay in touch as much as possible. If I have to get in the mud, as I said last week, to find out something, I'll get in the mud. So Sugar Cakes is starring on your chat room while you're talking about the criminality worse than ever. You know? What does that tell you? Sugar Cakes is a stray dog that Diana Charles evidently picked up. Very good of her. Apparently, she could have chosen a stray dog in Canada or gone to a shelter and picked up a dog. But she came here and she actually adopted a stray dog, took care of it medically, and now it's a star. It's a star starring even on your chat room. And it's better. It's more fun talking about Diana Charles's Sugar Cakes than it is to concentrate on why is the criminal system and not being fixed. Why do we tolerate people who reputationally should not be the ones dealing with crime on the possibility that they themselves are involved in the crime? Why are we not talking about the refusal on the part of the authorities to investigate at least the aspect of the report, the impact reports, relating to crooks, facilitators of crime in office?
But Rick, if you read the New York Times, I'm sure you do. The comment section of the New York Times is not only about highbrow issues, Okay, there's allowances made for a little entertainment, a little banter, and so on.
Nothing I've said
So,
there is.
so
Nothing
what
I've
I'm
said
saying is
there.
that is you are the one who chose to focus on Sugar Cakes and Diana Charleston to magnify it now on a different medium, which is on the airwaves, which is
establishment
on YouTube and on
Yeah,
Facebook.
but
those
let me-
comments, those comments were confined to the chat room, so that's a different community.
No, but you
and
missed
it's
my
not
point.
it's not reflected of the behavior of the Newspin community in totality.
Boy, I said enough about you, boy. Said enough your people. But I wasn't really criticizing your people, you know. The criticism is not at the chat room people, you know. The criticism is of the atmosphere we're living in. What our circumstances, the impact of our circumstances on us as a people. That we have less interest in crimes in the police force that may or may not be criminal, that what Kenny Anthony reported may or may not itself be true. We ignore all of those things and choose instead to do sugar cakes and how cute Kimani is, etc., etc. That is not a criticism of your show. Your show is bringing it out and showing me what Derek Walcott meant by indifference, what Derek Walcott meant by his definition of progress. So don't misunderstand me. What is happening in your chat room is reflective of a reality, Tim. Don't misunderstand me at all. I'm not castigating the chat room people. I'm not castigating the show. I'm saying to you that is the atmosphere that has been created for us. That is the oxygen we breathe. That is what's in our food right now. Bullshit. So the idea is to keep some call it deflection. Well, I don't think it's deflection now. I think it's settled that we have been abused. Our senses have been abused. Our senses of right and wrong, our senses of charity, all those things, standards and so on, have been so abused that we are now numb. So, and that is reflected by not only in your chat room, but the fact that people don't care, indifferent. You know, Mandela ready. You know that. What's the famous one? That move on. That they're ready, etc., etc. That is what I'm pointing out. So your chat room really is a good medium for measuring the public attitude to our surroundings, Tim. So don't misunderstand me at all. And all of that clicked when I read Derek's little piece on progress. I hope my message is understood. I plan to repeat it for a while yet. Thank you very much.
Okay, Rick. Thank you so much. Kimani, what's in the chat room? Any comments apart from Sugar Cakes and Diana Charles?
Well, since Rick's commentary about sugar cakes, we've been having more comments on sugar cakes. Someone says, I agree with you, Rick, but I didn't know who sugar cakes was, so I asked for clarity. I thought sugar cakes was the new KKRR or Angry Bird, etc. Someone says, Rick is spot on as usual. Another comment, sugar cakes is in Canada doing canine training. I think the point he's trying to make is things are getting worse and the people most affected are sitting back and having a jolly good time. In the words of Michael Jackson, all I want to say is they don't really care about us. Another comment, police officers are giving files of citizens to politicians. Progress. Someone says, Princess Sugar Cakes, a citizen of Canada living in luxury. She's now sleeping indoors and eating 3 meals a day. Has a bed, shoes, clothes, medical insurance. Another comment in the chat, Princess Sugar Cakes was once homeless and didn't have a future. Now look how life can change for the better. That's it in the chat room, Tim.
Thank you so much. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. Okay, I think we have lost that caller. Good afternoon. Hello? Okay, we lost the call. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's try again to see if we could put this WhatsApp call on the air. Hello? Hello, good afternoon. All right, so we cannot engage our WhatsApp caller, if it's that caller or our callers, WhatsApp callers in general. But let's see if we get a call on the landline. 452-2979. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Tim, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller.
Okay. Tim, I am calling for the head of the Commissioner of Police. Honestly, I am asking the Commissioner of Police to give that job or vacate herself from that job. Because what is happening there right now, and you talk about progress, and I'm glad when you mention about, in certain workplaces, in conference and meetings, and we talk about the poor workers to be progress.
We talk about productivity.
Productivity. And then we have person that is getting thousands of dollars monthly with no productivity. Nothing to show on the slate. And it is only those who are at a disadvantage of certain places, certain boss where they are working. Even some of them have been advantages been taken over. But we want to demand these people for productivity, for the little money they're getting, the little kakada. And then we have taxpayers now funding those persons in the highest place, like National Security Minister, Minister of External Affairs, and just name it. Person who have never bring nothing back to the country. But no, we after the poor people. The Commissioner of Police, Madam, please, from the time you assume that position, especially the second time when you got it back again, that position right now does not fit for you. When last have we heard something tough? And not just tough, but something demanding from the Commissioner of Police, from the police force. Nothing. So I am guessed right now to believe that those officers does not bother with the lady. They don't take any idea from her. It's like everybody doing what they want. And we talk about commissioner. That is a tough position to be. It does not mean because you're a female you cannot give that position. But when last have you heard something different from the lady commissioner? When last, Tim? When last?
Can't recall.
So what I am saying, Tim, I'm not saying if we have a male commissioner that we would have what is happening in the PM right. Not. But then in this time of age right now, with the fellas are more radical, they are more. Some of the fellas just, I don't care. You need a tough leader to take that position. I heard the lady was reading something and could barely understand what she was saying. She talked more as though she nervous rather than she's stunned in the position. And that is serious. The Commissioner of Police should resign, boldface, and get somebody else in that commissioner post. I know Daisy was doing a good job, and I know they have other guys in the police force that are doing a better job than that Peleus, the name she is, that have that position. Seriously about it. That crime problem there right now, we need tough person. This is a men-dominated position, that commissioner of police, a men-dominated society. And you have that innocent incomer come here, and then she almost like she don't even want to say anything. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I don't know if gender has anything to do with it. Don't expect me, sir, to support you on that particular issue. It has everything to do with whether the individual is capable or not. I'm not into that gender issue. Don't believe that somebody should get a position primarily because they are male or because they are female. It has to be all about competence. And I'm also not in a position to call for the good lady's resignation because we don't know the circumstances under which she is now leading the island's lone law enforcement agency. And unfortunately, police commissioners, they are encumbered, they're not so free to speak and to talk about the challenges that they encounter. Maybe not enough police officers, the lack of K9 unit could be hampering her work for what you know. And talking about this, let us hear from the police commissioner, because it was about 2 Fridays ago, she spoke to reporters while the French Interior Minister was visiting St. Lucia to hold talks with key officials, including the Prime Minister and National Security Minister, as well as the Education Minister and the Agriculture Minister. So let us hear from Police Commissioner Josita Descartes speaking about the French assisting St. Lucia to re-establish its K9 unit.
The meeting was quite productive and successful, and we look forward to increased collaboration between St. Lucia and the French in the areas of training. If I may say, we discussed the K9 unit, which we are looking forward to, which will be of great significance and of assistance to us in the area of crime fighting and citizen security. And for that, I'm grateful.
So you just heard there from the Islands Police Commissioner, Josita Descartes Pelius. That's Cressida Descartes Pelius. As we continue to take your calls and go through your WhatsApp messages, in just a moment, we'll be hearing from a senator. And there's some haggling which took place earlier today with regard to the sincerity of the government when it did present this 2.5% health and security levy, and certain facts were left out of that whole presentation by the Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for finance. So there is some haggling which took place earlier today, and the President of the Senate did caution a senator. The broadcast continues just a moment with more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages, and of course discussion in the chat room.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video cast app, unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More upon more, see how the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve test to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Shift into your savings gear this March at Automotive Art as we launch our March Madness sale. Pull up at any of our branches this March and save 20% off on all car accessories. Roll out with fantastic deals on tires of up to 30% off. And if you're missing some key tools for your toolkit, no problem. We're offering 15% off on all tools store-wide. But that's not all. Shop now and enjoy exclusive in-store specials on car care, lubricants, and more. Don't miss out on the action. The March Madness sale is happening right now at Automotive Art. Automotive Art, your car, our passion. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
It's time to spice up your meals with KFC's March Madness special menu. Rally up for our crispy, delicious nugget. Grab 8 pieces for only $10 or elevate your meal with 12 pieces for $15. Snatch up our nugget combos, now serving 8 or 12 pieces with a biscuit, fries, and a drink. Spike from $22 to $17 or from $28 to $23. We've got the little ones covered with 5-piece nugget meal with a biscuit and drink, or twisted up with mac and cheese, each for a tiny price of $10 and $11. For the hearty eaters, 5 crispy strips served with fries and a drink are all yours for $20. It's a limited time. Beats, make your way to KFC and treat yourself to these March Madness specials while they last. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
On Easter Sunday, the biggest brunch party in the West returns. Rise 4, the celebration. Easter Sunday, March 31st, Soufre Mini Stadium. Featuring international sensation Tennyson John and the DJ Project live. Also, MTX, A1 Jugglers, Sir Lancelot, Hype Kid, DJ JH Indalo, Levi Chin, DJ Irv, Power FM DJs, MC Donnerville. Easter Sunday from 12 noon, we rise.
Look at people in here tonight. Dance with me, baby.
Regular tickets are $80 and $350 for VIP terrace area. Get your tickets online at www.fourcirclestickets.com. Mambo's Bar and Courts in Soufre and Courts Ready Cash island-wide. Get VIP and group tickets with no cash at Courts Ready Cash. Dress code Slay in Orange. Rise 4, the celebration, an Optimum event production. Platinum sponsors, Courts Ready Cash and Power 97.9 FM. Gold sponsor, Bank of St. Lucia. Other sponsors, Digicel, Baton Beer, Strongbow, and Island Sound.
In the heart of every community lies a dream waiting to come true as a journey begins. We dribble through life's hurdles, breaking down its barriers, looking beyond the horizon. Lessons are learned, friendships are forged, and strength is birthed from within. Beyond tactics and goals, we strive as a team. With discipline and perseverance, we advance. Through every kick, stumble, and victory, our lives are changing, and together we rise.
It's not just a game. Football is our life.
The St. Lucia Semi-Pro Football League, leveraging football to transform lives.
Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. On the fringe of St. Lucia Jazz, yet taking main focus is Soufre Jazz, the ultimate experience. Featuring Taunton legend, Future Lights, Robsai and Finesse, TYP, Ricky T, Tennyson John, Headliners, Nyla Blackman, Skinny Fabulous, Taurus Riley,
She's royal, yeah, so royal.
Presented by the Sufra Event Management Organization. Sunday, May 5th at the Sufra Mini Stadium from 3 p.m. General admission, $130 EC. VIP, $400 EC. Get your tickets at fourcirclestickets.com. SRDF, The Cell, Sufra Jazz, the ultimate experience.
The leader of government business never said what were the specific conditions. But we know very well that those specific conditions were conditions to generate more revenue. And one of it, well, of course, was the tax on tobacco. And the other one was a 2.5% health and security levy, which Senator Jean and, of course, my colleague have alluded to in their presentation. And what is difficult about it, Madam President, is only now the leader of government business, and of course the government is saying that the 2.5% were conditions for the borrowing. But last year, when it was introduced in the appropriation bill, we were told it is for health and security reasons. There was never anything about as a condition. So it means that this 2.5%, which was introduced last year, was already negotiated prior to that presentation with the World Bank as a condition for borrowing within the fiscal year those monies, the $200 million as policy-based loans. That is the difficulty. That the people of St. Lucia, the parliament was misled back then to believe that it was for health and security when they knew very well that they had already negotiated that 2.5% health and security as a policy based
On a point of order, Madam President.
Yes, Senator Jean, what is your point of order?
Yeah, Madam President, the member is misleading the House. Based on what he's saying, the health and security levy was not presented in any clandestine way. Whether it was a condition for a loan or not, the health and security levy is established, just as the name implies, for the people of St. Lucia. And so I don't think it should be presented in a way that suggests that it was done in any sort of manner, because it didn't say that it was a precondition.
Thank you, Senator. I do agree with Senator Jean on this part. I was finding it very confusing. Whether it was as a precondition to getting the loan, it was indicated to the people of St. Lucia that it was a health and security levy. So I advise you just to be very careful with your choice of words, Senator. Please.
But I'm just saying that, yes, it was said that it was a health and security levy. But what I'm saying is that it was known.
You said they were misled into thinking. I'm saying maybe it was not indicated that it was a condition, but you said the country was misled into thinking. So I'm saying you'll be very careful with your choice of words.
Understood, Madam President. I shall move on.
Opposition Senator Herod Stanislas attending the sitting of the Senate earlier today and being cautioned by the President of the Senate. But you be the judge of that exchange involving the opposition senator, the government senator, and also the President of the Senate. There are times when you can mislead people by failing to make certain disclosures. And I think on that particular occasion, that is what happened to the people of St. Lucia. We were discussing something a few months ago, and that is the health and security levy, in the absence of us having all the information pertaining to that particular issue presented to us. I mean, even, for example, the likes of chartered accountant Mr. Richard Pitterkin, I'm sure he did not have all the information on that would have caused him to make an informed opinion on that particular issue. Let's continue with your calls. I think we have a WhatsApp call. Let us try again to see if you can put this call on the air. No, we have lost that call. But 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Hello, good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello? Hello? Okay, what was that call? Let's try the WhatsApp again. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You on the air? Hello? Okay, so hello? So definitely our WhatsApp calls are not going through this afternoon. So my apologies to you folks calling via WhatsApp. 452-2979. We have a call online. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hello, Timothy. Good afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
How are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have a heated topic there. I've been hearing about politics for a while. Yes, it refers to us, but there are other...
But as usual, I do not have a topic on the program. People can call and focus on anything. Yeah.
However, Tim, how far away is jazz?
The Jazz Fest is just, about 2 months or so?
And it's been advertised already, yeah?
Yes.
How far away is that show? There's a big show coming up, and the ticket prices are high. Some of them. I don't even know if St. Lucians will be able to afford it.
By
the
Burna
gentleman
Boy?
is coming to sing on what day?
Is it Burna Boy?
Yeah, something like that. When is he coming to sing?
I don't know what the exact date.
You don't know when, but
the
it's
3rd of
been
May.
advertised
Okay,
a lot,
3rd of May. 3rd of May.
Oh, on the 3rd of May. So it's been promoted. Yeah. Timothy,
And you have a problem with that?
No. I'm coming to something,
Mm-hmm.
Where are we right now this week?
Holy Week.
Holy Week. I'm not hearing anything about that. We're talking about wanting our country to have a difference. But we're keeping the same thing every year. We're not giving a little time to the spiritual part of us. It's just always the physical part of us. And then we tend to say the church is not doing anything. The church is doing a lot of talking, but everybody buy their white yam already, who buy their saltfish already to prepare for it's actually like
there's a tradition.
A tradition. Everybody have to have their penny piece and everything. The spiritual part of it, remembering Christ and what He has done for us. We, not one of us, deserve anything from Him, from God, because we have fallen short. But still, let us remember Him. We remember in the Nobel laureates. We remember in so many things that persons have done. But to remember Christ, just a week of remembrance of what He went through. We don't have time to do that. We don't do it. And then we say that the church. The church is doing what they're doing, but are we going to listen to what the church is saying? You understand me, Timothy? And then are we sending the children? Are we bringing the children to hear what the word is saying? We don't. Are we living the lives out there? No. But we expect everything to change instantly. I haven't heard any deaths for the weekend. Have you, Tim?
No. But just one guy, a gentleman, elderly citizen, who was injured, caught in a crossfire between, I think, 2 gangs.
But I also think that if we would keep this week on a lower key and make persons a little more spiritual, make them be a little more introspect, go inside and think of it and think of who you really are. And you're not here just to, it's not like we're fighting with each other, but we're here for a purpose to live a life and live a life for each other. And, Timothy, if we do that, I think that would help a lot. It would help the situation a lot. A lot of people will not go out there to parties because even during the Lenten season, no parties never stopped. No bottle never stopped, This is week of Lent. Let us give it to God. I know, yes, the government and who put the government there? God. So let us at least focus on Him for a change. And yes, what you're doing is very good, Tim. Don't get me wrong. What you're doing is very good. But let us nurture the spiritual. Even if it's a week we're doing it. Have a pastor, preachers or so come and talk about Jesus. Come and talk about, because St. Lucia is how much percentage in Christianity? What's the percentage?
We are maybe about 70 odd percent
It
thereabout.
used to be 99%, eh?
Yeah, what 70 odd maybe.
Right, 70 odd percent. And even the Muslims believe in Jesus. They may not serve Jesus like they serve in Muhammad, but the Muslims believe that Jesus was there. And so, Timothy, we have to give the spiritual. We have to nurture our spiritual. It's not only the physical, the mental, the financial. We have to nurture that. Let us give Lent a chance. Let us bring maybe one pastor, two, persons who will have some topic on uplifting people during the Lenten season, and that may trigger persons to change their lives. Who knows? You never know, but I know it will change a lot of persons. Can change a lot of persons. So, Tim, as much as I enjoy your program today, I just want to sensitize persons and make them aware that the Easter that we're saying we're going to celebrate, let us celebrate it the right way. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Let us celebrate it and celebrate it to God and not to man. And Timothy, all those who are going to say I'm a hypocrite, I can take that. I can take that. Because everybody who proclaims Christ right now is a hypocrite. Have a good day, Tim.
You too, ma'am. Thank you so much. WhatsApp message. Somebody says, I heard Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot say that she deserves to get medical care from the government because she has served the country in various capacities and has given so much to the country in community service. If this is the case, many other St. Lucians are qualified to receive free medical assistance just like her. WhatsApp message. Did not hear Dr. Poyot on any program today, so I cannot vouch for the veracity of that claim that you just made there. But nonetheless, thank you for your WhatsApp contribution. The chat room, Kibani. What's happening there?
Someone says, we rebel against God, but we reap the bitter harvest. Another comment, not everyone celebrates Lent, nor is everyone religious. Caller, what activity, discussion, talks has the Minister of Ecclesiastical Affairs organized lately or ever? Another comment, that's ridiculous. If the government misled us, the senator shouldn't see that's what was done. Tim, there is always a precondition for loans from the World Bank. Plus, the government has created a tax that is in the interest of the people. And secondly, the Prime Minister has presented documents to show that this loan was signed by the previous government. So please state the facts. Another comment, Chas was asking repeatedly what was the 2.5% levy really for, since there had been no increase in the allocations for health or safety. Now the truth has come out. What's done in the dark behind the backs of St. Lucians must come to light. Another comment, yes, it was disguised as a health and security levy when PJP himself lied. Another comment referring to the clip from Senate, wow, the gaslighting. Someone says we need to get Gary Griffith to head the RSLPF for 2 years. Leadership in the force and government is surely lacking. We need a no-nonsense person to put discipline in the force and take the heavy hand in fighting crime. I beg to differ, Tim. Some things are just what they are. She is not suitable, not the right gender, not able with the commissioner's position. Another comment, not only the commissioner, but the police department in general needs an overhaul, and the GOs need to be updated as well. We've had too many investigations with no results. Case in point, the container of weed, etc. Someone says productivity is frowned upon in the public sector. Used work at Ministry of Health as part of a job training, cleared a backlog of over 60K. Used to work at Ministry of Health as part of a job training, cleared a backlog of over 60K medical records. I had to enter into the database in less than 3 weeks and was still let go as the person who was doing a very poor job at it could get their post back. There were employees that clocked in an hour late and left 2 to 3 hours early every day, and I bet they still work there. Someone says, we speak about serious issues every day that we find no solutions to. We have been speaking about the crime, but who is acting? Someone says the commissioner has been strategically placed. Another comment, sugar cakes is our affordable option for the K9 unit. And finally, Kimani's bias about reading comments. That's it in the chat.
All right, thank you so much. Our Newspin question of the day. What do you want from this year's PJP budget? What do you want from this year's PJP budget? Our Newspin question of the day. And we have some of your comments in the chat room, but time is against us. I don't think I'll be able to go through all of them. Just one says, I would like to see a realistic allocation of funds towards national security. But we have many other comments that I really can't go through right now. And my attention is turned now to our Newspin news of the day. Our Newspin news of the day. CNN reports that Kenya's police could be sent to Haiti to quell gang violence. Some Kenyans are bitterly opposed. CNN reports that Kenya's police could be sent to Haiti to quell gang violence. Some Kenyans are, however, bitterly opposed. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is Newspin. Please join us same time tomorrow afternoon, 12:30, for another broadcast. Goodbye.